Welcome to the state of streaming here at the end of May 2022. And I'm telling you, if you've been watching these videos, you are going to see that your bingo card for a state of streaming episode is getting full. We'll get into it as we go along. But seriously, if you just had DMCA news in here, this is peak state of streaming news. So stick around. Me and Lewis have got all the information for you. Like the video if you enjoy it and do get the channel subscribe. But right now, let's get into it. News. New news. It wouldn't be news if it was old news. I don't know. Let's get into it. So, in what feels like some peak Twitch kind of situations, Dr. Disrespect hosted a $100,000 Fortnite tournament with Boom TV, and Twitch people were involved, and as you may or may not know, but I imagine you know, Dr. Disrespect was banned from Twitch, and nobody knows why, or at least the people that do know why, they ain't telling us. We are not going to find out anytime soon, seemingly. But these Twitch people that were involved in this tournament, they got some interesting rules. I was taking a look over on IGN.com. I wanna read some of this to you, because there's some highlights here for me. Call it the Hotshot Duo Drop featuring Fortnite. So don't say the name of Dr. Disrespect. However, if you do have to use the name of Dr. Disrespect, it says here that you can say the two-time or Blockbuster Video Game Champion. I mean, there's other stuff like hide images, videos, and streams of Dr. Disrespect from your stream. Mute Dr. Disrespect in game. Be mindful of showing the tournament bracket page on the stream, because that would probably have his name on it as well. And I get it, because Dr. Disrespect is suspended, and that's like a Twitch rule that you cannot mention or talk to people who have been suspended on the channel. For good reason, I would imagine, because a lot of the time when people are banned, it's for good reason. I say a lot of the time. Some of the time. Yeah, who knows? But with this instance, nobody knows what happened or why. So it makes it all weird, especially when it's stuff like calling the two-time or Blockbuster Video Game Champion. We know that's the doc. We know who that is, the two-time, back-to-back. We know. You don't need to... Like, I don't know what you're... Like, who you... I guess they're protecting themselves is all that's happening there, but it's like, we know. We know. You don't have to act like we don't know. We know, it's cool. You could just say it. If you're not going to tell us what happened, then I guess we're all cool. I don't know. We'll find out. It was weird. It was a weird story, and it's a weird time in this ongoing saga between Dr. Disrespect and Twitch, who, as this article on IGN mentioned, that since he was banned in June 2020, he has sued Twitch, and he resolved the lawsuit, and we didn't hear anything more than that. He had no intentions of returning to Twitch. Things were resolved. Done. So we're never going to know, I don't think. Not anytime soon. So the saga continues. But yeah, with the... Don't say his name. It was a weird one. It's like... yeah, they'll get there with it. They'll figure it out. Unless... I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out in time. For now, though, Lewis... what you got for me? Give us the stories. Give it to me, Lewis.
All right, thanks, Chris. So over in the tech world, we just had Computex, which happened the last week of May. Generally happens the first week of June. And, this was kind of like the whole people actually going out to events and being able to attend stuff. So, of course, the big hardware manufacturers tend to have their own keynotes, press conferences. And I think the main one for this one in terms of content creators was definitely AMD's. So AMD has unveiled their new Ryzen 7000 chips. Now these are CPUs that can now compete with Intel in that 5 gigahertz range, which is going to be good for encoding. But I think maybe a bit more importantly was the launch or the announcement of the AM5 platform. So the AM5 platform is the only way you can use these new CPUs. AMD's AM4 platform has been there for a while. So the cool thing with AMD is you can buy one motherboard and it's supposed to basically work with all their CPUs. So AM4 has been around for about 10 years now. So with AM5, of course, you're going to get faster RAM, DDR5. But more importantly, you're going to have the PCIe 5.0 ports and, a bit more bandwidth with these. So Hopefully this opens up some more expandability, especially when it comes to capture cards. So capture cards have been kind of stuck at this whole 4-port, 1080p or 4K 60. So hopefully with this increased bandwidth, we start seeing, 8K capture cards and higher refresh rate capture cards. So as part of this AMD press conference, Corsair actually announced their first laptop, and it's a gaming focused laptop. It's the Corsair Voyager A6100. This is an AMD Advantage laptop, which means it's going to use both an AMD CPU and an AMD GPU and all their integrated technologies. Now, while this laptop is meant for gaming, it's also meant for streaming and content creation. So it features some tools that help with that. So of course it has all the gamer, RGB and Cherry MX key switches. But aside from that, it also has Elgato's Stream Deck buttons integrated. So there's actually these LED customizable buttons that will work with Stream Deck. And it has a 1080p webcam. So a lot of laptop webcams are pretty bad, to say the least. So we'll see how this one turns out. And it also has things like, SD card slots and a lot of expandability. Now, because it's using an AMD GPU, you won't have access to NVENC, which is still the best encoder or hardware encoder for, live streaming in H.264. VC has improved, but it's still probably better for recording. Although it does have AMD's, I believe, 6900 HS Ryzen processor, which has 8 cores. So this will be more than enough for X264 encoding, especially if the laptop's just dedicated as an encoder. You'll still see some performance hit, of course, if you're gaming and streaming on the laptop, but it's more than enough to handle it. So we'll wait and see when the hardware reviewers talk more about this laptop, but keep it on your radar. Although it is quite a bit pricey, the lower model, which doesn't have the 8-core CPU, comes in around $2,700, and I believe the higher level model is about $3,000. So not a cheap laptop, but no ETA on release date or anything, but I'm sure it'll be out before too long, most likely midsummer or fall period. All right, Twitch is starting to face increasing competition from other platforms trying to get into the live streaming space. So TikTok, which has had gifting as part of its platform quite a while, has now also launched in beta a subscriptions feature. So similar to Twitch, there's different tiers of subscriptions, unlocks different perks. Right now, it's 18 and over 1,000 followers is required, but this is an invite-only program, so not everyone can access yet. But I'm sure it'll roll out as time goes on, and hopefully the access is easier because Twitch, you still have to apply to a partner program and fit all these requirements. So opening things up will definitely entice creators to try out other platforms. On the YouTube side of things, YouTube's also been making some waves. It has announced its gifting memberships or gifting subscribers feature. So basically someone can pay and gift people a bunch of memberships or subscribers at once rather than just their own. So this is basically the, Mr. Beast tactic of giving someone a ton of subscribers. Now you can do that. The parasocial whales can get people to do crazy things for gifted subs. And basically anyone who's watched the channel just gets gifted subs. So a lot of times I pop into random channels and I've just noticed that I'm a subscriber all of a sudden. So we'll see how this goes. The thing is that, many of the platforms are just catching up to Twitch's features. And I feel like none has really done that killer feature yet. Like Twitch has the Twitch Prime, which gives you a free subscription. So I hope that everyone is able to move fast on this, because it would be good to see some innovation and like really truly new features in live streaming. A lot of people are kind of stuck in this 2017, 2018 meta. And a lot of these features on Twitch have actually been on Chinese streaming platforms for a long time before Twitch. So it'll be cool to see new features like what Mixer did with the low latency feeds and things like that. But we'll see as time goes on and see who tries to take down the key. On top of that, there was another feature of YouTube that made some waves, which is the ability to customize your memberships price. So you can actually set the price of someone to subscribe to your channel. Like Ludwig actually did like $1 subscriptions, and on Twitch it's in preset values. So some people have been asking Twitch to be able to do this, but I think it's going to be hard for Twitch because subscriptions have both diminished and risen over time, because Twitch is obviously focused now on feeding people as many ads as possible. But this might be an interesting way for Twitch to kind of set like a meter, like once you hit a certain level of subscriber price, your subscribers can actually do things like take away ads, but you can customize it. But when it's below a certain level, it won't take away ads, but it can like give access to emotes and things like that. So yeah, maybe there's a way for Twitch to feed more ads to subscribers to then, of course, rake in more money.
Thank you, Lewis. Now, this next story snuck in right at the end of last month, but I wanted to address it because it's interesting. This came from Bloomberg News, and as reported on The Verge, which is where I'm reading it, Twitch was considering a number of changes to increase the revenue it collects from its most popular streamers. Now, revenue and being a profitable company is obviously very important. You get a big acquisition with a company like Amazon, and that happened a while ago now, but like, profitability is going to be consistently important for the sustainability of the streaming platform. And don't get me wrong, ad revenue, Twitch get a cut of absolutely every bit of money you spend directly on the platform. Doing all right, but sustainability and profit is important to these companies. So I get it. Yeah, it's an interesting one. I always think when stuff like this, because none of this stuff that we're going to talk about has happened, or none of it was 100% confirmed by Twitch. This was stuff that leaked. And I always think when you got leaks like this, it's the company putting out, what if we did this? And just seeing how mad people get. And gauging that as to whether they're going to bother doing it. So you got stuff here. So for big streamers with exclusive deals, they would cut their revenue from 70% to 50%. Most people do not get that level. Like if you're an affiliate, you definitely don't, but like general partners generally don't get these higher echelons, but like big time streamers can get up to 70% seemingly, but they want to reduce that. Introducing a new tier system which allows streamers to graduate through different revenue splits based on set metrics. So, I mean, that's kind of a concession to the fact that they're cutting those down, and it's not a bad one, I guess. What would be a thing that is of big interest is the fact that they would release partners from exclusivity clauses, it says here, letting them stream on rivals like YouTube and Facebook. And Bloomberg stressed that updates to the partnership program aren't finalized and could be abandoned. So they ain't confirmed it, but I do think it's one of those things where they're like, let's see how mad people get. If we say we're going to do this, let's see how mad everyone gets. And people weren't super happy. Like I said, I can see the tier system allowing streamers to graduate for different revenue splits based on set metrics. Because I will say, like, applying for the partnership program, that's still done, even though you have the achievement system, that's still done manually by a person. So I've heard of a lot of instances where even when people have ticked the boxes regularly, they still don't get accepted as a partner, and that stuff's never fully explained. So if that tier system is like a fully automated, fully transparent thing, cool. That's better than getting denied partnership when clearly you've got the numbers, but for some reason that won't be explained, you didn't make it. So, you know, that's a positive, but it's interesting that they're like, look, we're going to give you less money, but you can go stream on YouTube, you can go stream on Facebook. As Lewis mentioned, you got TikTok coming in with subscriptions, you got all sorts of stuff happening, so people are making moves. But from a sustainability standpoint, I can kind of get Twitch's point of view on this one, but none of this has ended up happening yet anyway, because I think people reacted mostly negatively to it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the future. For now, though, this is the end of this month's State of Streaming. Thank you so much for joining me and Lewis here for another recap. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, do give it a like and do subscribe to the channel because we've got videos like this coming out all the time with all sorts of tips, tutorials, think pieces. We got all sorts going on, so stick around. For now, though, I've been Chris Light. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you here on the internet on the XSplit channels.